with the ball. The referees satisfied both teams are ready. The next 10 minutes or so will determine whether they are. Australia nearly turn it over from the opening exchange. They secure the ball just outside their 22. And Stephen Larkham onto the right foot, the steadier, to take play up towards halfway.
Good first relieving kick by Stephen Larkham. He needs to settle into the game, needs to get the pattern working. Great kick by Stephen Larkham.
So the first line out of this game, right on halfway. Dani Coetzee to feed the first line out for South Africa. They've got some great talent. Selborne Boom went up high. There's the good break. In fact, it was Matfield that took it down and Boone that took it up. Now Davidson out for Louis Kuhn, out for the newcomer. Yori Muller in his test debut, and Latham onto the left foot. Won't find touch. Well, the flag is up.
Unfortunate there for Chris Latham. Tried the banana kick, didn't have a lot of room to work with, and just put his foot on the touchline.
Great work, great work. They're trying it early. And the poke through the gap, just testing and bringing the Wallabies close to the line.
So close that Chris Latham put his foot on it. This is a great attacking line out for the Springboks. Coetzee goes to Matfield again. He flies high. They put on the driving ball, but it's been repelled by the Wallabies. Now they drive it forward again. Advantage being played to the South Africans. Davidson in the team in place of Van der Westhuizen and Louis Kuhn. Away for the newcomer. Beautiful tackle in midfield by Elton Flatley. But the referee will play that advantage and bring it back for the penalty to South Africa on the far side. Can he put South Africa in the lead? Listen to that crowd. Can he silence them? That's a great start for the Boks. So with less than 3 minutes gone, they lead this international at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane by 3 points to 0. Now what can the Wallabies do? Larkham takes on the defence for Saylor. And strong defence in midfield by Matfield. Gregan, good service. Larkham out wide, Latham. And again, solid defence out wide by the Springboks. Phases building for the Wallabies. Cannon charges forward. Met at the advantage line well by the Springbok defence. Now Kefu. Terrific break by Kefu. Support arrives. Takiri short side. Cannon again charges. They're punching away at the Springbok defence. But they've turned it over in the tackle. And the South Africans breathe a sigh of relief. And what a great touch finder by Louis Kuhn. And he's turned defence back into attack at the far end of the ground. But what wonderful play by the Wallabies, denied at the end with the turnover.
Wonderful same-way attack. Todai Kefu knew that they'd worked a way to stretch that cover defence, stretched it to its absolute limit and then went back to the support. They nearly got there.
What a reliever of pressure for Louis Kuhn. Now the Wallabies again showing their hand. Takiri straight, beautiful pass, Rogers. Now War puts the kick in. Look at Flatley fly. But Villenster goes back, so does de Blanche. And they tidy it up. Can he release? He can't. Turnover ball for the Wallabies. Great pressure.
The decision there goes to the advantage of the Wallabies, but terrific play, using the strengths that they've got and supporting the runner. Great push forward by War. You'd love to see it stayed in the hand, but still the option was on for the try.
This is where Australia has to put points on. Set-piece play, one-on-one.
Kefu at the back for the Wallabies. Gregan looking very confident tonight. Larkham, switch of play. Takiri came in from the left wing to centre field. Sets it again. The Wallabies are rampaging. Stephen Larkham, great defence. Rogers, stepping run, looks for support, finds it with Noriega. And they drive him over the line. He's short. Smith, Gregan, Back in field, Kefu. Gee, that's great Springbok defence. And the penalty
Killing the ball.
for the South Africans, killing the ball. They were desperate. This to bring this game back on level terms. And I'm sure that the Bundaberg fans at the southern end of Suncorp Stadium will tell the story. Will give you some indication of whether Elton Flatley has his kick on line. It's all tied up at Suncorp. The Wallabies 3, the Springboks 3.
Hold. Go.
Juan Smith. Krieger arrived at the breakdown, so did Matfield. Davidson, good service for Selborne Boom. Gee, Australia's defence has been impressive as well. South Africa struggling, you can pass the advantage line, they can do it for the Kirk. Davidson, again good defence by the Wallabies, but they were opened up with a little chip kick, and now they have their backs to the wall. Saylor in there also doing well. Now, Muller away for Smith, just 22 years of age.
No problem.
He gave the game away in the junior days for a season. He's glad he's back. It's a World Cup year. Pretoria. Taylor knocks on. DeWitt Barry arrives. Selborne Boom scavenges. Davidson. Ball was disrupted. And in the end, the Australians recovered pretty well. But they are still under pressure. Driving it forward.
Relentless pressure by the South Africans and just probing and probing. Keep chipping away.
Louis Kuhn for Willemse. This is where he can be really, really dangerous. A young winger from Cape Town. Inside the 22, Kern on the short side. Smith. Desperate defence by Rogers, by George Smith. Now Davidson. The advantage is over. Davidson. DeWitt Barry, strong midfield defence. Muller, Willemse, very light at his feet. Davidson.
They've gone the wrong way. They've gone the wrong way, the Springboks. They had no support that side.
Now they come again. Relentless pressure by the box.
Great defence by the Wallabies. They must keep moving up on the front foot.
Now Smith. Smith drives 10 metres short. Davidson. Kempson. Gee, that's great defence. Can they hold on? Wide ball. Van Niekerk. Strength and pace, but picked off. Muller. And the pass has gone forward. And the pressure, oh, the punches are flying. Rogers and Muller exchanging blows. But the defence held. They were under pressure. They survived it all.
Lovely tackle by Stephen Larkham. Around the legs, got him straight to the ground. And unfortunately for South Africa, the ball went over the touchline.
And he's on target again for a 3-point lead again to the Springboks at the halfway mark of the first half. Now they put pressure on the restart again, and they've come up with the Australians. Something they've worked on diligently this week to secure the ball from the restart. Now Gregan throws it wide to Flatley. Into space for great support by the Waratahs flanker. Now Larkham back into heavy traffic.
Play the game, George.
Gregan has a dart himself.
Tackling it out. Hands off, advantage.
Advantage being played against Seville discipline by the Springboks. Now Kefu wrapped up by Selborne Boom.
Yeah, you've got advantage. Hands off, Green.
You can hear the referee imploring the Springboks to keep their hands away from this ball. Now Stephen Larkham. Beautiful ball, Flatley. Rogers left it behind, and the penalty will come back. Now will he give a yellow card now?
They're slowing the ball down at the tackle.
Well, I suggest, Mr. O'Brien, do something about it.
George Gregan walking slowly over the referee at the moment, and that'll be probably what he's looking at doing. Just quietly, calmly.
And I had it. All right, and that's why I don't need commentary. I saw exactly what he did. Yeah, I'll penalise.
Flatley So far, 1 from 1. It's been a perfect kicking display by both he and Louis Kuhn. Can he keep the percentages there? A crucial kick for the Wallabies. And he's nailed it.
Wendell Saylor waiting.
Now they go wide again, the Wallabies. Flatley, terrific defence by DeVette Barry. That's like an action replay from Pretoria, from Cape Town. And pinpoint again, George Gregan.
That is the exact same play the Wallabies scored with 3 weeks ago in Cape Town. This time Elton Flatley was put under a lot of pressure by DeVette Barry, and he's down hurt. Physio Cameron Lillicrap looking.
It's 6-all here at Suncorp.
Playing. Play on. Get off, tacklers! Advantage! No, he was away.
Now Australia with a great attacking opportunity here with advantage being played. Switch of play. Stephen Larkham.
Still playing advantage.
The referee still playing advantage, as you heard him call it. Good refereeing by Paddy O'Brien. Now it goes away for Latham. And look at Matfield come in with young Smith, the number 8.
Leave it.
They'd missed some tackles early, the South African defence, but they're certainly lifted their game.
Here's a tester for Willemse. Sailor flew high and secured by the Springboks. And Gregan there, wrapping him up in defence. Back for Louis Kuhn. And Mr. Reliability just takes play again, midway between the half and the 22. George Smith and War, the two lightweight flankers, playing open side and blind side for the Wallabies. Now Smith, another of the great young back rowers in World Rugby.
Leave it go.
We've already seen an impressive comeback by Van Niekerk, and here's another penalty.
Racket form. That's a tough call on Phil War. He was on his feet. Not here to coach. Had his hands on the ball.
And a rare miss from Louis Kuhn. So it's still 6-all. Now they attack them close as Kepu came off the back of that scrum. Now Gregan, Stephen Larkham. Great run by Takiri. Back for Rogers. Sailor.
The top judge has his flag up.
But the flag is up. Back on the 10-metre line. I think probably on Lottie Takiri. But Takiri came looking for work on the right-hand side from that left wing. And the two old Broncos teammates teamed up beautifully on the right-hand side here. Now Larkham back in Flatley, trying to work them. Smith. Vardy's being played to the Wallabies. Gregan goes to the left. Larkham. That pass looked forward. And again, great defence by South Africa out wide. Takiri. Now the Springboks right offside here in front of Paddy O'Brien as they come up quickly. War goes into space. Tapped on. Sailor gets back to his feet and drives it forward.
Hands out, Green!
Australia with that willingness to throw the ball wide. Young. Gregan. 20-metre pass. Midfield. Great support the Wallabies. But equally good in defence of the Springboks. Gregan. Chris Latham. Bill Young in there involved as well.
A lot of space for the Wallabies on the right-hand side, but Paddy O'Brien, all this
got to go to the bin here.
Well, I think his hand's got to go in his pocket here now.
Dani Kutsia, wearing the 2 jersey, has been in problem all night.
Second time
you can't do
that. Sporting a game, you're going to the bin. It's quick ball, that's all we're doing. There you go.
Well done, Paddy O'Brien.
Yeah, look, the biggest cheer of the night, the yellow card.
Well, continual infringements like this, and a side is on the attack. It is just unpardonable. And the Wallabies, look at George pleading to the referee. Can the Wallabies capitalise? Flatley smashed by Yvette Barry. Gregan probing. Back for Rogers. Good defence, Matfield. He has had a terrific game, Victor Matfield. But the penalty forthcoming, offside to the Springboks.
Now, this will test the mettle of George Gregan. What do you do here?
Must
Australia
go again.
should go for the points. It is better to take the 3 points with less than a minute going into half-time than a speculator for the try.
I agree.
This is Test match rugby.
And I love a scrum, but George Gregan doesn't. True to himself. We disagree there.
Stay behind the ball, please. Well, George knows he needs to put points on the board. He wants to get 7 points. He's not happy with 3. He wants to put some points on the board before half-time.
He wants to strike a psychological blow here against the Springboks. Latham. Now they must be composed to the breakdown. Now they're offside again, the Springboks. But the referee is allowing play to go on. They drive it forward again. Time ticking away in the first half. Stephen Larkham back for Jeremy Paul. But again, this Springboks defence is first class.
1-on-1 out wide.
Gregan back for Latham.
Leave it! Leave it!
This will really test the discipline of the Springboks.
No.
Gregan. Jeremy Paul. Gregan. So close. The ball, will it come forward?
This crowd will explode. This stadium will go off.
Now Muller's kicked it away. And I suppose now the 2 front rowers sitting next to me were saying we should have taken the points. But George Gregan led with the heart. Muller kicking it away. Yvette Barry is flying. That will be the last play of the first half. Action-packed stuff at Suncorp Stadium. And fittingly, the teams go to the break all tied up. No tries. 2 penalty goals to Flatley. 2 penalty goals to Louis Kuhn. And the prospect of more to come in the second half. With the restart. Will it go the 10? That is just the start. Well, they let it bounce, and it did. So a lucky break for the Wallabies. Yvette Barry in midfield. Sandon arrives at number 16. Louis Kuhn. Back for Takiri. Did well. Back for Latham. And onto the left foot. Finds touch on halfway. They play on quickly. Kirk on the comeback trail. Destructive back rower from the Springboks. Davidson, Louis Kuhn. Now the Springboks go wide. But Paul Park in midfield had a chance. Rogers scores the try that puts the Wallabies in the lead. Matt Rogers scores a try on a Springbok mistake, and they lead by 11 points to 6.
What a start for the Wallabies. 1 minute into the second half. Matt Rogers scoops on a loose ball. As you can see, going wide, the ball going to ground. Rogers and Flatley looking for the ball. Rogers in his left hand tips it up, and then it's just a sprint to the line. A great start for the Wallabies in the first half. You can see by their body language, they're happy, they needed it.
But that try was started 4 or 5 phases before. The pressure by the forwards, especially in Young, trying to pressure, put more and more pressure on them, and they were over.
And Flatley's kick makes it 13-6 at Suncorp Stadium. So Matt Rogers' try ignites the 52,000 people here in Brisbane. his 4th try in Test rugby, his 2nd against the Springboks, and it couldn't have come at a better time, particularly after that missed opportunity just before half-time, where the Springboks must have gained great confidence from the decision of George Gregan, but now they're on the back foot.
Lovely left-footed kick there by Chris Latham. Needed to get back down the other end of the field, but now Australia have to go back into defensive mode, try and steal the line out from South Africa.
Well, they've started it, the Wallabies. They've got to be able to go on with it. This is the challenge. Against the run of play, they scored the try. Now they've got to be able to create something themselves.
Now they've stolen to the back with George Smith. And crucial ball for the Wallabies. Stephen Larkham pops it away between Pretorius and Willemse, and it's into touch on the full. So they are the little things that allow the Springboks to come back into this match.
Now this is where Australia, Chris Latham's looking to be involved in the first half. The last 15 or 20 minutes, he was everywhere. He was looking for the ball, he was making tackles, he was directing play. And this is where the Wallabies need Chris Latham, the Queensland hero, to step up to the plate and be counted.
Now Dale Santon, who a few weeks ago became one of the oldest Springboks on debut, at 33 years of age, finds Matfield the target at number 2 in the Springbok line out. The Australians come up flat in defence. Davidson, Louis Kuhn with an attempted drop goal. Collapsing them all, the Australians. They were playing advantage, which made Kuhn go for the drop goal, but now he gets the second bite of the cherry from the penalty attempt just outside the Australian 22. 40 metres the carry. Distance will pose no problems for the Springbok fly half. Superb strike. And the Springboks come just a little closer to the Wallabies at Suncorp Stadium. Once again, the restart from Elton Flatley. His first one of the second half was a poor one. That's a better one, and the Australians win it back. Cannon involved tremendously in the first 40. Back on the field with the bandaged head. Great win for Australia. Rogers. Taylor the passes forward anyway.
Everything was right about it. They made the break. They got great width. Cannon had done great work up this side. Stretched them back. Then the ball moved across. It sung across the back line. Rogers knew he had to find Sailor and put it to the front of him. And he crashed to the earth.
51,188 at Suncorp. And most of them praying for a form reversal from the Australian Wallabies. And they've produced a far more polished performance tonight. But again, this little bits of illness has let them down. Can they compose now? Flatley tramped the Wallaby back line. Rogers got the ball back infield.
They have advantage.
Advantage being played to the Wallabies. Noriega took it forward. Gregan. Now Larkham. Great tackle again. But no arms used by Devette Barry. Flatly bounced away. Advantage still being played, and now the penalty. And they must take the 3 points here now.
Well, you'd have to say George will take the scrum if his previous form. He's not happy. Speaking to the referee.
It's okay.
A chance for the Wallabies to go further ahead at the 52nd minute mark. Flatley. Strikes it purely, and Australia lead by 7.
Number 9.
In the Australian side. Watch for his blindside snipes. He's strong and he's elusive. Now Sailor, likewise strong and elusive. But the defence was there to meet him. Flatley, inside ball, Cannon. What a game he's had. Inspired by the fact that Jeremy Paul is back on the bench. Brendan Cannon has gone up a gear.
Two lovely passes there, one from Elton Flatley, another one from Stephen Larkham, inside balls.
Now a chance. Larkham went on the outside. Gee, I thought the pass to Sailor may have been on, but he's elected to put the ball to the foot. But he got on the outside of his man, Stephen Larkham.
But a smart option. He's kept the ball going forward. I don't think he really wanted it to go out, but it's still what Australia want to do. Keep putting the pressure on. Now they've got the opportunity to have a go at the South African line-out.
But if you don't want it to go out, you don't kick it out. You kick it so that it stays in. And it's a poor option. Stephen Larkham's kicking last 2 games has been ordinary.
Now Kutsia back into the fray, throws the line out to Matfield.
Keep it up, keep it up.
One of the consistent performers in season 2003 for the Springboks is Victor Matfield. He scored a stunning try against the Wallabies in Cape Town. Now Louis Kuhn, Smith puts pressure on again. But a sure touch finder by Louis Kuhn relieves the pressure and takes it up towards the halfway line again. So a change in the South African lineup. Marcus Botha has come on in place of Selborne Boone. To the back of the line out.
In the air again.
In the air again. They have already been warned for this, the Springboks. I thought the first call was tough. Interesting to have a look at this one. This looked more like a legitimate penalty.
And Paddy O'Brien is saying that you can't attack the player in the air when he has the ball. Giffen goes up high, he gets it, but what it is, the hand is actually getting grabbed and he's getting dragged over to the side and going to the ground, which is illegal.
The line you can see is the Springbok 22. And again we see the Springboks up in that flat line. The penalty.
Stay out on him and stay square. You can't go in.
Not packing square, the Springboks. Richard Bands, Danny Kutsia and Kepson. Now Flatley's coming across. A discussion by the Wallabies. Flatley, ball placed on the 22. He's had a 100% record tonight. He will be willing this across to kick the Wallabies out to more than a converted try lead. And he's done it courtesy of the upright. And Australia lead by 10. Now, Van der Westhuizen will try and ignite the Springboks. Smith, who's come back onto the field, tries it deep into Australia's territory.
Stay goals.
Van der Westhuizen for the base. Louis Kuhn on the angle is Muller.
The Wallabies have to be tight next to the ruck. Watch out for Van der Westhuizen.
Leave him one. Don't.
Now, Louis Kuhn, good variation. He loses it. Knocked forward by the Springboks. Gee, I want to have a look at this one.
That's a big call from Paddy O'Brien. Louis Kuhn seeing no one at home. Here you see. Yes, he did get a hand to it. Stephen Larkham got a hand first.
And Willemse thought he had come up with the try. Very clever variation from Louis Kuhn to put pressure on the Wallabies.
Australia must make sure they keep the scrum straight and don't let it turn to allow the Springboks to go after it.
Gone round, fellas.
That's exactly what's occurred in a turnover.
Now, this is what Tim was alluding to. Watch for Jus van der Westhuizen here. This is where he likes it most. And there's a few tempers flaring. Noriega and Kutsia.
Kutsia could stand a chance of having this penalty reversed. Now it's a test of him. Great to see him fired up. Bit of a stink. Holding on, pushing, bit of verbal.
And Robbie Kempson says, come on, fellas, settle it down. Now, a great blind side to attack for the Springboks. An advantage being played to the Springboks.
Angling in Bill Young on the side.
Now, what will Krieger go for here? Will they take the scrum again? Do they take the points? They're 10 points adrift at the moment.
He'll be thinking he's 10 points behind. They have to get within 7 points to get the bonus point, but he wants to win the game, so they're taking the kick to goal, looking for the 3 points.
Mr. Reliable, Mr. Concentration. Missed the penalty. And that's a let-off for the Wallabies. Now Sailor. And Suncorp Stadium comes to light. Now they take it forward again, the Wallabies, through Giffen. Bregan barking at the back of the Australian set play. Kefu.
Get off!
Sailor is hovering on the right with Nathan Sharp.
Playing advantage.
Now a penalty is forthcoming, and they are under pressure, the Springboks, and reacting accordingly.
Go away.
George Gregan should just walk away from this. He's got all the rights, and Dani could see again the loose cannon in the whole lot of it.
I've got a flagging.
George Gregan lost the ball, it appeared.
There's a report coming in here, Chris, from the touch judge on the far side.
Yeah, which player was it?
He put his hand down, and then that ball put the leg out. I think he'd knocked it on before the leg came out.
Yeah.
He was the one lifting up Regan's legs to try and push him away.
Right, so Greg, it was number one interfered with the ball.
Yes.
He's going to the bin for that. Right, because it was a quick ball.
Yeah, I'm only playing.
Definitely number one?
Yes.
Right. Linda, can you confirm just what I'm going to him? He's injured at the moment.
He's gone for Pies Lawrence. Is he number 3 or number 1?
Yeah.
Paddy
when the
O'Brien
ball's
may
quick
think it's
ball to
Richard
halfback, I
Vance.
don't want that. That's bin as well. Kicking the ball.
So Robbie Kempson takes a 10-minute holiday here at Suncorp. Australia are out by 13 points. And South Africa with the job ahead of them. Smith, they go wide for Van Niekerk, and Finnegan drives into the ground. Van der Westhuizen, Kuhn away for Russell.
Todai Kefu down, hurt, holding his sternum and his shoulder.
Matfield driven sideways by the Wallaby defence. Yes, Kefu looks wounded in midfield. Kuhn with a little flick pass. Knocked forward, taken forward by Marcus Buita.
Kefu's one off the ruck. He'll be called on here.
He'll be tested. Sharp, Finnegan combined. And Asano and Finnegan come out here with a purpose. Matfield away for Pretorius. Russell. And a foot in touch. A foot in touch. And play will come back. Smith had no idea. He had no idea that he'd gone into touch. Nowhere near him.
George Gregan, the Wallaby captain, leaves the field. Chris Whittaker comes on to replace him. George Gregan been under a lot of pressure in the last week, and I think he's answered his critics tonight.
Yes, he's done a terrific job. He's led the side very well, and this has just been a confidence booster. Look at that pass from Whittaker. High ball, Stephen Larkham. Look at Latham. He's knocked it forward. Willemse cleaned up. But a good variation again by the Wallabies. And tempers flaring again. Wendell, Sailor and Willemse still come to grips. Now, Stephen Larkham, Matt Rogers. Great strength, but smashed.
The ball wide to Takiri would be the go.
And it's gone that way. Takiri, 5 metres short. Whittaker, Sharp, shows all his strength. Australia rampaging, close to the Springbok line. Wide ball, try is on here. Kefu. What a reward. If ever a player deserved a reward, it's Phil Ward. And he scored the clincher to cap off a memorable game for the Wallabies here tonight.
You can just feel the relief amongst the 51,000 people here and the 22 players of the Wallabies and their management when Phil Waugh went over the try line. Elton Flatley going wide, giving to Carey space. That's what he's needed, one-on-one with Brent Russell. Make space, and that's where the try was made. Getting in behind the defence. Chris Whittaker's crisp pass out to Stephen Larkham, moving the ball wide, and the vision by Chris Latham there to shift the ball. Todai Kefu had eyes for the try line. He wanted the 5 points, but kept the ball alive. To the man of the match, Phil Waugh, over in the corner. And aren't the Wallabies pleased now?
There's the attempted conversion, and 100% for Elton Flatley tonight.
Great work by Elton Flatley, but very worrying signs for Todai Kefu, lying prostrate on the near the try line after that pass. Hasn't moved. That call for the stretcher.
That was a late hit, right arm of Robbie Kempson.
Cheap shot.
Did it hit his shoulder first or his jaw?
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it was around the shoulders, and then it came up, but you could see Kefu's neck jolt at the time.
Kempson made no attempt to pull out of that tackle. He's known around rugby circles as loving to give out a cheap shot, and we've just seen him do it again here tonight.
As Sailor goes over halfway. Still on his feet. So the Springboks' dismal record in Australia continues. Just as the Australians struggle in South Africa. Now, Stephen Larkham and Phil Waugh again.
He's everywhere. Are there 2 of him, Anthony?
And he takes the last tackle of the match. And 51,000 people stand as one. The Wallabies are back on song. As I said, there is still work to be done, but a lot of positives, and what a display by the man of the match, Phil Waugh. In the end, the Wallabies have scored 2 tries to 0.
So Australia are able to stop the drought for the meantime. Anyway, the final score 29-9. Elton Flatley turning on a perfect display with the boot. Let's see what that does to the Tri-Nations points table. The All Blacks perfect so far. 10 points there, 2 from 2. The Wallabies second on 5 points with that win. South Africa bringing up the rear in 3rd place with just 4 points. And former All Black AJ Wetton, physical I guess is an understatement. Some ugly moments in there, but a frustration. If you can't beat them, bash them.
Well, yeah, there certainly was. Typical of the South Africans, they only had limited chances. They didn't take them. That led to some frustration. That led to some lack of discipline, which was even out there today. So some incidents that they wouldn't be too happy about, that's for sure. OK,
was there enough from the Wallabies to suggest they can get up and retain the Bledisloe Cup?
On that performance, I'd have to say no. I thought they lacked a wee bit of variance in their pattern. There were some times they were hot on attack for about 5 or 7 minutes. They spun the ball out to the back line. Too many forwards for me out there. They couldn't break that defence, and the Wallaby teams of old, they would have capitalised and certainly dotted down for a couple of those tries. OK, George Gregan really under the spotlight, his performance? I think he came through OK. Obviously a lot more talking to his forwards. I thought he had a solid performance, and I think also Larkham, he's coming on as well, and he's just come back from injury, so that combination probably is not quite there at the moment, but they would be happy with a victory at this stage. Right, looking ahead to the Springboks in Dunedin this weekend, will John Mitchell make any changes to his 15? Oh, it'll be a tough call, especially after that performance in Sydney last week, which was absolutely magnificent. There is some talk, of course, about Ali Williams not quite being accurate in his repertoire of tricks, which is the line-out and kick-offs. That may open up the door for Simon Mailing. I know he did play on the weekend and came through all right against Wellington, by all accounts and purposes, so he may have something to offer. If he gets the opportunity, let's see what he can do. Cheers, AJ. Look forward to joining you in Dunedin. Right, coming up, the build-up for the All Black South Africa Test begins on Sports with Oscar, Nate and the team. Also this week,